Hey, my name is Attorney Judith Luce Montgomery, and I am the founder of Atlanta Family and Immigration Law here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are in, I guess what we would say, very trying times right now. We're currently in the year 2025, and the president is Trump. Anywho, let's get on to more important things, okay? I have been practicing family law and immigration law in Atlanta, Georgia now for over 13 years. And so I want to talk to you guys about how are we preparing now for interviews with USCIS, because things have changed. There is a memo that went out to the field offices, and it advised them that they are now required to go through all 86 questions in the I-485 petition, okay? Wasn't being done prior to 2025, but it is being done now. So what I do when I represent a client is that we prepare a notebook, something like this. I don't want to share the client's information number, but we prepare a notebook very similar to this. And in the notebook, we have a table of content that we provide. And it goes through the forms and USCIS notices. So that means the forms that we prepared on behalf of the client, along with the notices that we have received from USCIS. We have tab 2, the petitioner's evidence of U.S. citizen or LPR status. We're talking about the beneficiary. That means the person that's applying for someone to gain status. That will usually be a spouse who is a U.S. citizen or a adult child over 21 who is a U.S. citizen, okay? Tab 3 is going to be the marriage documentation and information, proof of the marriage. And tab 4 is going to be proof that this is indeed a bona fide marriage. So we're going to have a lot of evidence to support that. Tab 4 is going to be the beneficiary's immigration and identity records, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to go through these petitions that you have submitted to USCIS. All of them, the I-130, the I-130A, if that's necessary, the I-485, the I-765, the I-864, the I-131. We have stopped filing I-131s because they are discretionary, and depending on the country, they're not being granted anymore. Usually it has to be in relation to a humanitarian issue, an urgent humanitarian issue. And when we say urgent humanitarian, we're talking about you have a parent who is ill and you need to get back to them, or a family member who is ill, or a family member who is dying. Something like that is what will allow you to be approved for an I-131. Before, they were giving them out like candy, but now, not so much. So with that, make sure that you have, I say have your documents organized. We organize the documents for you because we're the ones who prepared the packet and submitted it to USCIS, okay? And so, you want to make sure that you have your mandatory items when you are going to the interview. One, you want to make sure that you have your notice. They're not going to let you in the door, whether you are an attorney or not an attorney. You need to have the interview appointment notice on you, the I-797C form. You need to have a government ID, a passport, a driver's license. You want to have your original documents, birth certificate, marriage license, divorce decrees, very, very, very important. You want to make sure that you have done your medical exam and that it is up to date. It is required now when filing the 45 and in order for it to be approved. So make sure that you have that. Now, you want to show that you have lawful entry into the United States. That means that you entered into the country with inspection, meaning you received a visa from the United States and you were approved and authorized to come into the United States. So you need to have passport with visa stamps. You need to have your I-94 arrival departure record, okay? Now, Being that you are at the interview stage, most times that means that your I-765 has already been approved and you are eligible to work and you have a work authorization. So they want you to bring that. If you've been approved for advanced parole, like I said, they're not really approving them right now for travel purposes. But if you do, bring that with you as well. And then also please make sure that you bring your affidavit of support and the financial documents. That means tax returns, pay stubs, employment verification notice, okay? Now, if this is a marriage-based application, you want to show proof of joint bank accounts, lease or mortgage agreements, utility bills with both names, photos together and with family members, correspondence addressed to both of you, affidavits from friends and family attesting to the relationship, okay? Now, when you get to the interview, they're going to ask you for your ID. That's the first thing that the officer is going to ask you for. You should be prepared that the officer is not going to be too nice. I can't explain to you why they are so nasty, but a lot of times they're not very friendly. So just prepare yourself, okay? Calm yourself down, prepare yourself, and ignore them because I think that it's their desire to get you riled up, okay? Now, they're going to review your application. So that means they're going to go through your I-45 form. And they're going to ask you questions. They are going to go through, like I stated, all 86 questions. So be prepared and have a copy ready so that you can go through it with them, okay? They're going to ask you about your background, your immigration history, and any other issues that you may have. They're going to ask you questions about the marriage because they want to determine if it's real, so be prepared. They may ask you what side of the bed you sleep on, what color is the carpet, what color is your spouse's toothbrush, what is a daily life look like from the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep. There are tons of questions that they can ask you. So you want to be concise, you want to be precise. Stay calm, like I said, stay composed, listen carefully. If you don't understand a question, ask them to clarify, ask them to repeat the question. Do not be afraid to do so. Do not give them extra information. Do not do that. Give them what they asked for and nothing else. Now, at the end of the interview, they will let you know if they are going to further review, if they are going to have to send an RFE, which is a request for further evidence. They're going to advise you if you need to update your medical examination records, or they will let you know if everything is okay and if they're going to go ahead and approve it and whether you should anticipate your card in the next few weeks. They usually say 30 days, but it can come in like 2 to 3 weeks on average, okay? So these are the things that you need to, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I want to go down my checklist, make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. So you should receive a decision in the mail within weeks. So it could be an RFE, asking for additional evidence, asking for additional information, or it could be a denial. And you should anticipate what's called an NTA, a notice to appear before an immigration judge, if they are placing you in deportation proceedings, or it could be your permanent residency card. I'm going for the latter. I hope that you guys found this helpful. And if you do, click like and share because in times like these, you absolutely need to have the correct information so that you can be ready to attack this interview and do well and be successful, okay? Again, my name is Attorney Judith Luce Montgomery, located in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta Family and Immigration Law is the name of the firm, and you are welcome to give us a call at 678-601-5580. Bye.